Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of ETV News. I'm Jared Toffel. One of Easton's most popular activities for students is intramural sports. Reporter Fernando Dramano gives us an insight on the university's program.
Hello, my name is Fernando Geronimo, and I'm here inside the Sports Center to talk to sports coach and intramural and rec coordinator Matthew DeMarco about the intramural program.
We've had a great turnout, phenomenal turnout. Soccer had about 12 teams, and between football and volleyball, there's about 17. I'm hoping for more. I'm always a huge fan of people coming out and wanting to do activities, whether they're athletic, not athletic. I mean, just giving everyone that opportunity to play, I think is super important. So the more the merrier.
Coach DeMarco plans to have 4 sports being played throughout the spring semester and hopes to have more people joining. Students who do not want to play but want to get involved with intramurals can also have that opportunity to join as a paid position on ECSU Jobs website.
So at the moment I have 11 student workers. I have 3 student supervisors. Phenomenal. They're the ones that make this work. I'm kind of just making sure everything gets set up correctly. My supervisors are the ones in charge, making sure everyone's where they need to be, set up, helping take things down, make sure it's kind of clean at the very end of the day.
We asked him what are some benefits for joining, and this is what he had to say.
It gets you out and gets you meeting new people. This is the first time that intramurals have really truly happened since the shutdown. It was kind of a give and take process, and we get so many people that just want to go out and watch, let alone play. During flag football, we had people out in the stands watching. There was a handful of people trying to get the wave going at a couple games. It makes for a fun environment, and it just helps the campus atmosphere so much, because last year when it was just strictly open gym and we were only allowed 30 people at a time, they come in, they get their intramurals. You kind of feel like you're a part of something, and it gives people that feeling of, okay, it's more than, I mean, of course you got your academics and your athletics and stuff like that, the normal things that are going on usually at a campus. But then having that fun atmosphere of, oh, okay, I have a game tonight, I have my volleyball game tonight, I'm going to make sure I'm ready, I'm going to show up, have a good time with my friends, it makes for a fun and enjoyable campus.
We had Coach DeMarco explain to us how students can sign up to play intramurals.
So you could go into IM Leagues, you can follow the ECSU Intramural Instagram page as well. I'm always posting up on there. I send out my emails on a monthly basis, talk about how you could sign up, what's being presented throughout the month. And from there, I always send how you could join an intramural team as well. Come out with your roommates, your friends, people you may not know, join as a free agent to a random team through the IM Leagues website. And like I said, I send out emails all the time. It comes in the form of Michelle Delaney. She sends it all out to the students for me. But then with that, it kind of gives everyone the access to see what's going on during the calendar month, and gives everyone an idea of, okay, this is going on, we're playing in this. And it's the best way to kind of give everyone that visual representation of what's being available.
To conclude, Coach DeMarco is happy intramurals is running again, and will look to get the spring semester going as it rolls around the corner.
For ETV News, I'm Fernando Geronimo. In the Sports Center, joined with me on camera is Julia Florence reporting.
Some exciting events that have been happening on campus lately include the Smash Bros. Tournament. Easton held this video game tournament featuring Mario Smash Bros. For Warriors in the Student Center Theater as part of the Warrior Cup event series. Players were able to take part in not only a spirit competition for their dorm hall, but get a chance to have a break between studying and classes with some friendly competition. Be on the lookout for Warrior Cup standings next semester, as more events are to follow throughout the year. Another recent event held on campus was a University 4 titled The Man with No Name, The Gumby Tradition in Bermuda. Guest speaker Erwin Trott, a master drummer and managing director for the Warwick Gumby Troupe, hosted a talk on Zoom relating to the history of Gumby, which goes back 200 years in bringing together enslaved people of West Africa, the Caribbean, and Native America, together with their heritage to celebrate during the Christmas season. Continuing on the topic of bringing people together for the holiday season, the Low-Rise Hall community put on a Spirit of Giving event for students in the particular building to take part in. By sending care packages to their friends amongst their fellow suites, people were able to show their appreciation and gratitude for others alike and different from them for Thanksgiving. Former alum and assistant director of ESPN Next program Nick Okamfoa has returned to campus as an adjunct professor. Reporter Cameron Darcy got the chance to speak with him about his experiences at ESPN and role in returning back to Eastern.
So I started out in ESPN in 2015, right when I graduated, about 3 months after graduation. Began my career as a production assistant, primarily working within our studio content for college football and college basketball, both men's and women. And then from there, after doing that for about 2 years, I moved over to Outside the Lines in E60, which is more of our feature storytelling and our investigative journalism side of things. So after 4 years, give or take, in production, I decided to pivot my career a little bit and go into our ESPN Next leadership team, which is the ESPN Next program, which is our leadership development program at ESPN, where I took on a coordinator role, assisting the program in many different ways, and then currently an associate manager with the team. A couple years into my career at ESPN, I realized that there was an opportunity for me to get my master's degree through ESPN's reimbursement program, and it immediately clicked for me that I knew I always had a passion to be able to teach and help people get to whatever the next level is for them, whether that be when they're in school or in their professional career. And what better way than come back to where you went to school to hopefully help that next generation to go out in the workforce and specifically in the media industry. So for me, getting my master's degree through ESPN's reimbursement program, and then finding my way back here through conversations with Dr. Andrew Rutterback and other staff and faculty as well was really rewarding, and I'm excited to be here.
As we approach the upcoming winter season and head back to our homes, let's consider those who rely on Eastern during the break especially. Organizations such as Sean's Cupboard and University On-Campus Food Pantry is a big support in helping provide meals and stability for those with and without families during these tough times. In the effort to aid this, organizations, clubs such as SAAC, Lambda Pi Eta, and PRSSA are holding food drives in order to donate and help keep shelves stocked. We hope that you consider the opportunity in joining them, and if you are looking to help, please take notice of these drop-off areas or spread the word about Sean's to a friend.
Hello, my name is Phil Satrowski, and we're here outside Eastern's Public Safety Building about to speak with the director. We recently met up with Eastern's newest Chief of Police and Director of Public Safety, Stephen Tavares, to talk about his past experiences and goals here at Eastern. Tavares, former emergency medical technician and the Bristol Deputy Chief of Police, has earned a seasoned background in public safety through working hard up the ranks. Something to know about Tavares, however, is that he is also a 95 alum and was a former resident assistant here at Eastern. He explains the impact that this has had on his current work.
I think I offer visibility, approachability, and a genuine desire to keep a place that I love safe.
Beyond conducting regular health and safety inspections, Tavares has truly made it a priority to get his face known on campus. This is why he stated in reflecting back on the past few months.
As I get to learn the nuance of the state system and meeting people on campus in different departments. I think meeting people on campus and building relationships has been going real well. I've met with a number of student groups. As time goes, I've forgotten my time, how fast a semester can go. And there isn't a ton of weeks to get a ton done, but I definitely make myself available. So if you see me in the student center, please give a wave, say hi. Definitely open the conversation at any time. And I continue to build on that.
The role that the community has on the success of a department is vital. The chief wants everyone to know that their voice matters on campus.
We're here for you, no matter where you come from. I can tell you that when you come to campus here, you'll be treated well. The mantra and the method is, equity. We're about equity, we're about protection. We want you to not only be safe, we want you to feel safe. And we do that for everyone. So no matter how you identify or what community you come from, we see you, for sure. I want people to know that. We definitely see you.
Although he commends past chiefs for their maintaining a police presence and advocacy for students, Tavares always believes that there is room for improvement as director.
What I said when I first came here, when I was sworn in, is something I'll always do is we'll always look at our processes and our policy and our actions, and we're constantly reevaluating ourselves to make sure we're providing the highest level of service possible. And that's that's truly important. That's what makes people feel safe, and that's what gives us the ability to make you safe, is constantly looking at what we're doing, making sure we're within those best practices and doing the best job we can possibly do. And we can't do that unless we hear from the community.
Through engaging with the community, opening conversations, and taking suggestions, the police department believes it can not only better its campus climate, but can truly improve the livelihood of its student body. Tavares reintroduced us to the university's array of resources, as well as an additional tool that's to come in the future.
Live Safe app. We obviously have our blue phones on campus, and utilize communication. Like I just mentioned, if you're in the hall and you have a question, you think this is right, you have office assistants, you have resident assistants, hall directors. There's professors, there's police officers, there's a lot of people on campus. There's a lot of resources. They're not all necessarily technology, but they're people in communication. And one of the resources we will be putting out soon is the police department will have their own social media outlet. So it'll be another thing for our community to follow.
Going forward, he has big hopes leading to the spring and emphasizes wanting to let people know.
I didn't want to be chief of police anywhere. I wanted to be chief of police where it really mattered, and Eastern is definitely that place, so I'm grateful for that.
For the campus of Eastern Connecticut State University, I'm Seth Strowski with Julia Florence behind the camera reporting.
I encourage my patients to get COVID-19 vaccinations. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Millions of doses have already been given in the United States, and these vaccines have gone through the most intensive safety monitoring in U.S. history. The results are reassuring. Serious side effects are very rare. I tell my patients if they have questions to ask me or use a reliable source like the CDC website to get the facts.
Hello everyone and happy November. Today we are going to be talking about social justice and the importance of what social justice means to our community, since after all that is what November is proudly known for. To start off, social justice is fairness as it manifests in society. This fairness comes in all different departments, such as healthcare, employment, learning, and lots more. It is also important to recognize that social justice applies to all aspects of society, including race and gender, and it is closely tied to human rights. The goal of social justice is the full and equal participation of all groups in society that is mutually shaped to meet each individual's needs. This is to ensure that each member feels safe, not only physically but psychologically, as these injustices can take a huge toll on someone's mental and emotional health. With this being said, it is important to lift each other up through such times, especially those who are fighting for social justice in particular, because fighting for these changes and for an individual's right is not an easy thing to do. In fact, applaud that person, give yourself a pat on the back, and reassure these people that they are doing an amazing job. I want to make it well known and aware that the cause of social injustice is unequal treatment spreads around different types of unequal social status. Our goal as a community is to stop that spread and allow more room for growth and education amongst these issues. Want to know some ways in which you can help advance social justice in your community? Easy. Some of the things you could do are educate yourself about different social justice issues, take positive action in your own community, and discover your local organizations. Of course, there's plenty more ways in which we as a whole can bring social justice into our lives. However, these are some of the main and most important ones. As a very diverse university, did you know that we have a social justice council here on campus? Eastern is committed to allowing students to understand that, regardless of their differences, all members of Eastern community are challenged to achieve their full potential and are supported in their pursuit of that goal. For ETV News, I'm Kaylee Roberts. Jared?
Thanks, Kaylee. After news broke out about the actual concert that led to some big deaths surrounding people and even children who attended, more than 90 lawsuits are now being filed against rap artist Travis Scott, who allegedly continued to perform even after emergency officials named the event a casualty event. Refunds are being offered to everyone who attended the concert, and a fund is being set up to help with costs for medical expenses. On a lighter note, the cherry season for drinks is back, which means that Starbucks is bringing out the limited edition red reusable cups today while supplies last. If you're interested in one, all you have to do is order a holiday or fall drink, and don't worry, every time you use the reusable cup, you get a 10% discount taken off your total. One of the most nerve-wracking things for many people is the thought of getting a shot at the doctors. For children in Nebraska receiving the COVID vaccine, they won't be going through that process alone anymore. Recently, the Nebraska Health Department has added a comfort dog for children to lean on. The dog, Katie, has allowed the children to feel more comfortable and safe while waiting in the line to get vaccinated. Katie has worked in many different situations as a service dog, with some being natural disasters. She's truly a pro and has traveled the country, providing plenty with comfort. We end tonight's national news block on a more serious national issue. America's newest drug epidemic is the deadliest it has ever been. The CDC put out a new statement showing the latest numbers of drug overdoses. The organization goes on to emphasize how something needs to change in order to prevent these numbers from increasing. It is important to be aware of local treatment and prevention resources for those who suffer with addiction. We encourage all of our fellow students to be advocates amongst their families and friends and to help maintain a dry, drug-free campaign in order to lead happy and healthy lives for their future. When we come back, ETV Sports, Ryan Gable is here with the result of the remainder of Easton's postseason play.
Why should young people care about the spread of coronavirus? Well, we know that people with underlying medical conditions over the age of 60 are at highest risk, but they've got to get it from somebody.
So we're asking everyone to be selfless for others so that we can protect those who are most susceptible.
Not going to bars, not going to restaurants. It all just means physical separation so that you have a space between you and others.
For more information on how you can social distance, please go to coronavirus.gov.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Sports Update. I'm Ryan Gable. The fall season has officially concluded with 3 Eastern teams who are looking to clinch an automatic berth into the NCAA tournament. After upsetting the #1 seed Plymouth State in the LEC tournament, the volleyball team was hoping to win 2 of the last 3 conference titles when they traveled to the defending champs gym in UMass Boston. The Warriors had a 2-1 lead, but ultimately lost in the 5th set tiebreak. Anna Berry and Abby Stern were both awarded first team all-conference, while Berry became the LEC Offensive Player of the Year for the 2nd year in a row, as well as an All-American honorable mention. The field hockey team was looking to make history by securing their first league conference title in program history, hoping to avenge their 2015 title game loss against rivals Keene State. The Warriors scored in the opening minutes thanks to Isabel Sanchez, and that's all they needed to take down the Owls and win the conference crown. The team would follow the nationally ranked Bowdoin College in the NCAA tournament, but the positives were still coming for the team when Brianna Nolan was given the Lillies Conference Offensive Player of the Year and a first-team all-conference selection. Senior Bryce McCullough was awarded second team, and first-year student Allie Kendrick was third team. Congrats to the field hockey team for their best season in program history. The last Eastern squad to fight for an LEC championship was the men's soccer team when they hosted in-state foe Western Connecticut at Thomas Nevers Field. It wasn't until the 64th minute until the team struck first, and that was WestConn's Harrison Hours. The Warriors would respond less than a minute later with a goal from first-year standout Logan Brennan. With less than 10 minutes left, a penalty in the box by Western would award Eastern with a penalty kick, and junior Larson Richards would take advantage to give him the lead. Soltis also come with head coach Greg DeVito after the team's first conference championship since 2013.
Back here in Little East Conference Championship with head coach Greg DeVito after the Warriors clinched the 2021 Little East Conference Tournament Championship. And coach, you know, you guys, the preseason #1 in Little East Conference, regular season #1, you come in as the #1 seed, and you guys are able to pull it off here today. What formula were you guys able to whip up all year long that allowed you to come to this point?
I think we had excellent senior leadership, and our seniors and juniors really just leading a group of 12 or 13 freshmen and 4 sophomores that really haven't played college soccer yet. So I attribute a lot of it, really all of it, to our group of seniors and juniors that we have just kind of leading the way.
So now, Coach, of course, this game had a lot of change of emotions. You know, you guys, it was a scoreless tie there for about 65 minutes, and then WestConn's able to take that lead with about 25 minutes left, and you guys respond right away. How are you able to keep your squad focused in the last couple of minutes? We'll regain focus here.
Thank you.
Regain focus after that. But, you know, how are you guys just able to do it here today? Mix of emotions, you guys came out on top.
Man, WestConn's dangerous on set pieces. They beat us at their place in a set piece in overtime where we didn't even get close to the kid, and, you know, good service in the box again today, and the guy made a good run. He got inside of our guy. But all year long we've talked about how we're going to respond to those things, getting down, and today was an example of where we responded, kind of like the Keene game where we had something bad happen. We made a bad decision. We got a guy sent off, and we responded by getting a goal, a guy down. So I thought that was similar today. The reaction was a kind of an and in a lot of adversity. Some of the upperclassmen today were sick. They weren't feeling well. They weren't feeling the game. And the younger guys, Sean Cafferty and Logan Brennan, made a huge play and got us tied. And then Larson with a really, I don't know, just a nice calm penalty kick against the goalkeeper of the year in the conference. So nice response, I thought, by our boys.
Now, finally, Coach, of course, this another conference tournament championship for you, your first in 8 years. What does it mean to be back on top of the Little East champion?
I think the conference tournament sometimes is harder to win than the regular season. You got to put two back-to-back games with a lot of emotion together in a short amount of time. And I give WestCon a lot of credit, man. They competed today. They had a couple of good chances. Just there weren't a lot of chances in this game. And they really made us work for it today.
Coach, thanks and congratulations on another Little East Conference Tournament championship.
Thank you.
The team moved on to the NCAA tournament a week later to play Christopher Newport in the first round at Glassboro, New Jersey, host of Rowland College. It was a 3-0 loss, but 4 players were all conference honors to cap off a fantastic season for the men's soccer team. With the end of the fall season, that means it's time for the guys' gymnasium to bring down the hoops and start basketball. The men's team had a tip-off tournament this past weekend for the first time since the 2016-17 season. Their first game was against St. Joseph's College of Brooklyn, where they took home their first victory of the season behind Max Lee, who was filling up the box score with 7 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and 7 steals. The win would move Eastern to the tournament championship against Trinity College, who was coming off a victory against Mitchell College. The Warriors gave it all, but they were fighting from behind for too long and fell to the Bantams 75-65. Max Lee and Tyrese Woods would end up on the all-tournament team, and their next game would be just days later against Springfield College. They were looking for their first road win of the season, but after Eastern blew a 19-point lead, it came down to the final seconds where Thomas Close was the hero, hitting a game-winning free from the right wing to give the Warriors the victory. Their next game will be on the road to take on Worcester State. Head coach Denise Brearley of the women's basketball team enters her 28th season in hopes of taking 3 of the past 4 Little East Conference championships. The team is already 3 games in, losing the first one to Babson College before participating in the Keene Classic. In the first game, they battled all game long with Stevens Tech before coming just short. The team would have to bounce back the very next day against Baruch College, where they unloaded, winning by 56 and just short of 100 points. Julie Kecker would finish with a double-double, propelling her to earn Little East Conference Player of the Week, while Anna Berry would have 18 points. The team's next game is their home opener this weekend facing Trinity College. To keep up to date on all things Eastern Athletics, visit our webpage at gowarathletics.com and follow us on social media at ECSU Athletics. Of course, we stream every home game at Eastern on littleeast.tv thanks to Blue Frame Technology. From ETV Sports, I'm Ryan Gable. Jarrett?
That wraps up our last show for the semester. Thank you so much for watching, and all of us here at ETV News wish you a fantastic winter break. See you in the spring. For ETV News, I'm Jared Toffel. Good night, Eastern.